There comes a point in time in running your professional organizing business, or any business for that matter, where you realize that your time is so valuable and you have very little of it. And you're probably on site working with clients a bunch and realizing that you don't have as much necessary time to process all of your back-end tasks. And so that is where automations and software come into play. And I often get asked what my favorite tech solutions are to help save you time and be more productive on those back-end days. And so today, I'm going to introduce you to a software that I come to time and time again, and I recommend it over and over again. It's called Descript, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of how it works, what I specifically use it for in my business, everything from social media to sales calls and various other things that are pretty cool. So we're going to dive inside. And if you want to save time and be more productive and more professional in running your business, then I encourage you to stick around and let's get into it. What's up and welcome to I Speak Organized. I'm Melanie Summers, your professional organizer. I specialize in ADHD organizing strategies, and I am your go-to gal for all things pro organizing business. There's a little something for everybody here, whether you are a decluttering and organizing enthusiast or you're getting ready to start or level up your professional organizing business. If you haven't already, go ahead and take out your device and tap the subscribe button so that you become a member of the Speaker Fam. And as you get value out of today's tutorial, I encourage you to tap that thumbs up and the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content every single week. If you need a little bit of genuine connection and some community to come around you, then go down to the description of the video and tap the link to join my free Facebook group, the I Speak Organized Professional Home Organizers Network. It's a great place to get all your questions answered and to come hang out with me every single day. And while we're at it, I wanted to give you a quick update. Some of you have been following my 7-day Magic Mind Challenge, and I'm now on day 5, and I have to say I have noticed a huge difference. I've used Magic Mind on and off for many years, and I always wonder, why do I stop drinking it? I just get out of the habit or something like that. It's so easy because it's a 2-ounce shot, and it really does help your mental performance. I've noticed that I have quicker recall, I'm able to articulate a lot easier, and I do a lot of talking on camera, and I have to do multiple takes over and over again because I can't get the words out. But when I am drinking Magic Mind, it's easier for me to let the words flow, and I don't have to do as many takes, so it helps me with productivity right there in that aspect. And it's all actually really good for you. No more gallons of extra coffee and energy drinks and soda and all that nonsense. This has organic matcha in it, organic agave, functional mushroom compounds, adaptogens and nootropics, all those things that are really good for your brain, and it gives you sustained energy all day long. So if that piques your interest, I've got a special deal for you. As always, you can head to magicmind.com/speakorganized and you can get 20% off your first order, or if you want to jump in head first, you get 48% off of your first subscription. That information is going to be down in the description of today's video to check it out, and as always, a huge shout out and thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring today's video. All right, fam, so we're going to dive right in, and one of the first things I want to draw your attention to is the fact that I am recording this session using Descript, so it rivals a lot of those other screen recording softwares, and it's one of my favorite features. If you ever do a website audit with me, this is the tool that I use to go to your website and actually go through and audit everything for you, and then I use the transcription piece of it to create summaries and takeaways and things. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. But first, I want to give you guys a bit more background on what Descript is and how it became a thing. It's my understanding it was started in 2017 by the former CEO of Groupon, of all things, which I did not know, Andrew Mason. And the original premise of it was to have a software that did really high quality and easy to use audio editing. And it had a few extra tools that they felt were lacking in that industry. And now it has blossomed into this very robust software that does multimedia editing, and you can do voice cloning and project collaboration, all kinds of different stuff. And you can edit out filler words. So we'll talk a little bit more about some of those features as we continue on. All right, so I'm going to take you into some of my projects here. And just to show you something. So let's go into this clip that I just edited of my podcast episode with my friend Amy Novick. So I originally used this software for podcast audio editing. I wanted a software that was going to allow me to have really clean sounding audio without spending a ton of money on hiring an audio editing person. And the software does a pretty good job as far as that is concerned. So here's the deal. Basically, any video or audio recording that you do, you can plug it into this transcription software and it will transcribe that audio or that video for you in under a minute in most cases. And that includes really long form content. I can plug in an entire 45-minute podcast episode and it will transcribe it with pretty dead-on accuracy, aside from like some grammatical things here and there and mispronounced words, in under 2 minutes, which is pretty amazing. So if you're just doing little social media clips and you want to add captions to them, which is what I'm going to show you here, it takes even less time than that. For all of my reels here, where I'm posting clips from podcast interviews or anything else really where I want to have a sort of fancier title overlay, I use Descript for that. So this is the, as I said, reel of my friend Amy, and you can see over on the side here all of the different caption options that you can change this to. So you can just hover over each of them and see how they look. So if you're looking for that really cool, very bold visual caption, this has tons and tons of options for you. And if you've ever wondered how people do that, they're probably using Descript. So you can add, I like to add ones with waveforms. I chose this one that has, where is it? It has, oh yeah, here we go, with the waveform underneath. That's pretty cool. And you can actually customize the colors. This pink color here is actually one of my brand colors, which is why I use it. So even though the default version is this yellow, you can go in, if I were to click on this, and you can click custom and you can customize the fill words. You can add borders to it. You can add a background. They have what's called active words and future words. So it can even highlight in different colors the words that you're about to say versus the ones that you're actually saying in real time, which is pretty cool. So there's lots of different functions to play around with. The other thing that's pretty standard with this is the audio editing portion. So I'm trying to remember where that is. I think it's in the Elements tool. Let's see. Or maybe it's layers. All right, so if we head into the layers tab, I'm going to click on the text. There we go. So you're going to see an audio effects tab here. And I usually just auto enable the studio sound. So basically what it does is it compresses the file. It gets rid of all the background noise, any echoes, any pops, anything like that. So if you don't have a super high quality microphone, or even if you do, sometimes it can pick up a lot of those extra noises, those hard S's, those hard P's. And so enabling the studio sound is going to get rid of that. And this makes it super easy for me to edit, especially when I have a podcast guest that doesn't have a studio setup. A lot of people don't have microphones. They're just using their AirPods. And so they sound really far away and muted. And the studio sound function brings the voice into the foreground and it cleans everything up and gets rid of all that excess noise and echo and all that good stuff. So I absolutely love it for that. And you can also kind of change the level. I usually set mine to about 75%, so it sounds a bit more natural. Again, I am not an audio engineer, but it does end up sounding pretty darn good, all things considered. And it balances and normalizes all the volume so that your voice doesn't get too loud or too quiet. And it just helps out with all that stuff. And then it also has ducking in there as well. So it takes a little bit to process that file, but once it's done, you've got a really clean sound. And then I add that audio in post when I go to edit videos. And then once you're done, let's say you're using this for a social media post, or maybe you're using this for a virtual presentation. If you do any of that, if you do any speaking engagements or anything where you're teaching people about decluttering and organizing online, if you have a class, something like that, you can direct publish to your YouTube channel, your social media. If you go up here to the corner and hit publish, you have options to publish web link, YouTube, all the different podcast platforms, Google Drive. So if you want to share it with a team member, maybe you're onboarding a team member and you need to get them up to speed on a certain process that you have, you can upload it to your Google Drive that you share. There's various different options here that you can use. So it's pretty cool. Okay, now I want to share with you another really cool thing that I have discovered using Descript for, aside from the social media posts, is to transcribe sales calls. This is a little bit unconventional, but it's so cool, and I'm actually using it to help create templates, just giving you a little peek behind the curtain, creating phone scripts and templates for successful sales calls. What makes a seed to proposal or a seed to sale successful by actually recording my sales calls with real clients and then taking out, of course, all of the personal information. And so I'll tell you how I go about that. So I actually will either get the client on Zoom or I will just record myself. You can have recording apps on your phone that automatically record phone calls for business and quality purposes. Yeah, if you've ever heard that when you call a company, that's usually why that happens. So you can either use Zoom and just record yourself and put the client on speakerphone. I always make sure to let them know so that they know they're being recorded and that their personal information is not going to be distributed anywhere. It's mostly just so that I have notes available and can make sure I don't miss any details. And I ask their permission. Everybody always says yes, and we go from there. So basically what that allows me to do, once I am done with that phone call and I hang up, I plug that recording into Descript, and like I said, it's super fast to transcribe. And in less than a minute or two, I have a recording of the entire conversation. I then plug that into ChatGPT, and I will ask it to act as my virtual assistant or act as a certain expert in whatever it is that I'm trying to extract that information from. And I will ask it to summarize that conversation. Make sure that I understand all of the questions that the client was asking so that I can provide custom solutions that I really am on top of the goals that my clients need when moving forward with me. And that also allows me to create standard operating procedures that are written and passed on to my team. So if my team has any questions regarding what the client's goals are, what we're going to be doing in sessions, phase breakdown, project proposal, whatever it happens to be, product, all the different things that we have to keep track of, I'm able to very easily and quickly share that information using the transcription that I've plugged into ChatGPT and organized for my team. So it has really saved me a ton. I also use it when I do coaching calls. So if you've ever had a coaching call with me via Zoom, you know that you get that recording afterwards. And what I've started doing with my clients lately is plugging that recording into Descript to get the transcription, and then I can send you a written summary of everything we discussed. So if you have an hour-long call with me and you're trying to remember, okay, what was that one thing we were talking about and where in the conversation was it? You can look at that document that I was able to create super quickly using Descript and ChatGPT. So it's another really fun feature that allows me to provide a better quality customer service experience for all of my clients. If you've never had a coaching call with me, that's what you get to expect. So go and book one before they book out. All right, now let's talk about filler words. So this is a really cool feature. It allows you to take out filler words and it detects and deletes them automatically. So ums, uhs, kinda, sorta, like any word, like, for instance, if you're somebody like me who says that word, any millennial can relate to that. Anyway, it will allow you to actually remove those words pretty seamlessly. So you can click on the text here and let's see if I can find a good example. Okay, so what it does is it automatically underlines filler words. So you can go in and highlight it and click these three dots and say remove filler words. So we'll highlight all the filler words that it's going to remove. In this case, Amy's got just a couple. And I can say remove all, and it will automatically cut that out. So if we're going to play this clip, you'll see that it very seamlessly just transitions and cuts those filler words.
I could put out a schedule and they could do it, Calendly or something like that.
Now, so you can play around with it. There are times when the filler words, they're really not a big deal and you keep them in. I tend to not take everything out because I like to have more of a genuine voice. That's something that I'm known for, is just being myself and being pretty genuine. So I don't take everything out. But if there's somebody that I have on the podcast, or if I'm particularly out of my mind and not able to articulate really well, I will absolutely use this feature and cut out as many filler words as possible. So you can customize which ones you remove and whatnot. It is super cool. It does it all for you. So it's one of my favorite features. All right, another lesser known feature. This is something that's brand new. They actually have voice cloning technology now, and this is an AI integration. So it's something that I haven't played around with, but I did a little digging so I can explain it to you. If you go into AI speakers, you're able to create a speaker and you can clone your voice. So you can actually create a speaker that sounds like you, and then you can write in the text that you want it to say, and it will spit out the audio that sounds like you. So it can save you a bunch of time if you forgot to say something in a social media post or a YouTube video or a podcast or whatever, and you need just a little bit of audio in there. You can actually do it with your voice cloning capability. Not something I've played around with yet, but I would definitely be open to trying it and demonstrating it in a future tutorial if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about Descript. And that kind of goes with any of these features. Today's video is more just an introduction to the software in the event that it is something that you could utilize for your business and you want to try it out. But I am open to doing some more in-depth tutorials on some of these different features moving forward. So if I get enough likes and comments down below, I will definitely do that. So make sure that you comment. Some other things that you can do with it. I'll bring you guys over to the pricing page so you can check that out. With some of these paid price points, you have the ability to use collaboration tools. If you have a team of people, or you have an audio editor or a video editor, somebody who's working on all of this stuff on your behalf, you can actually simultaneously edit a single project and get the work done that much faster as well by having multiple people on it. They've also added what's called a storyboard feature. So if you're working on a presentation for a mom's group or downsizing for seniors or something like that, you can actually design and storyboard the outline, essentially, of what you're going to be talking about within Descript. So it's another new feature that they have. It's not something that I have used quite yet, but open to exploring it, especially because I do a lot of those public speaking engagements and presentations. Having the ability to do it all inside one tool is definitely very appealing and very cool, because then you can add those moving captions in there. They have the ability to add background music through Descript now. You can remove the background from a visual, so it'll have a green screen effect, and you can add different visuals in the background while you're talking. If you want to be on top of Mount Everest, that's something that you could do inside of Descript. And they also have sound effects. So if you want to enhance your presentation or your video, you have the ability to do that as well. All right, so let's look at price points here. They have 5 different tiers. Obviously, if you want to try it out, there is a free version. That is exactly what I started with. And I learned very quickly how awesome this tool was for many aspects of my business, not just my podcast. And I've shown you a couple of different things here. But you can try it out totally for free. Try out their AI tools, their text-based editing, all those different things. There's a lot of really fun features to play with. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they're always bringing new features online and updating things, which is pretty cool. And then you can get it for as little as $12 per month, which is what I used for the first couple of years of my podcast until I started needing a little bit more storage and project capacity. And then I graduated to the creator version, which has been really awesome. And I love it and use it all the time. You also have the business tier, $40 a month. It's really super reasonable. I absolutely love it. And so if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about that, you can go to descript.com/pricing, and it goes through all the different features that you have accessible through these 4 main price points. Like I said, I'm currently at the creator price point, and I use Descript almost as much as I use applications and software like Canva. Those are my 2 big heavy hitters when it comes to automation and streamlining in my business. And of course, ChatGPT and all that AI stuff. Yeah, I love this. And of course, I've got an affiliate link for you if you guys want a free way to support the awesome content that I try to provide for you on this channel. You can use my affiliate link. I would be ever so grateful. It is 0 cost to you and really helps out my channel so that I can continue bringing you the best quality content that I possibly can provide. And again, if you want to see a few more things in regards to Descript on this channel and you want me to dive in and do some more tutorial style stuff, I'm happy to do so. Just make sure that you comment down below and let me know. All right, fam, thank you so much. That's going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with us on the Speak Organized channel. If you have any questions about Descript, pop them down below. If you want to see a little bit more content about it, you have additional things that you want me to test, happy to do that as well. Don't forget to check out that exclusive discount link to try Magic Mind. You won't regret it. And make sure to check out all the goodies that we have down there for you. Get on my calendar for that one-on-one coaching call experience. You can check out the Overlooked to Overbooked course and my Pro Organizer Forms pack, as well as a whole host of other resources that I'm happy to provide to you because you're awesome. I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.